Welcome, beautiful Paris Saint-Germain family. Recently, I asked you guys on Twitter to ask me some questions for Q&A. Let's get it. So, first of all, drop the Yamal agenda. Make it into a question. Will you ever drop the Yamal agenda? 100%. One thing a lot of people have to understand is that the Yamal agenda didn't pop up out of nowhere. And that goes for any agenda I have against Bellingham, Kylian Mbappe. The players are the ones that need to drop their disgusting acts for me to drop the agenda. I don't have an agenda against Pedri. Why? Because Pedri does not give me reasons to have an agenda against him. When people start understanding that Yamal is the reason there is an agenda on him, not just by me, but a lot of football fans, yeah. So, will I ever drop the Yamal agenda? Yes. If Yamal drops his disgusting, arrogant, demeanor. Next up, what's your favorite team after PSG? I'll go for my two local clubs, AEK being the first one because I've actually gone and visited it, gone to games and so on. A lot of games actually, and then Saura in Bashar, Algeria. Why do you support PSG? I support PSG for mainly three reasons. One of the biggest and main ones, Zlatan Ibrahimovic, as me being Swedish, was my favorite player growing up. And he obviously joined Paris Saint-Germain when I started getting a lot of interest into football. I've also been to Paris a couple of times before starting to support PSG back in 2012. I've also family in Paris. So there were some ties, some connections to the city. And Zlatan Ibrahimovic, which was a big reason. Paris Saint-Germain were also a very unique club to start supporting back in 2012. Think long and hard about the teams left in UCL. Think of their seasons, players available, goals scored, defensive strength, offensive strength. Who do you genuinely believe will win it? I got a feeling about Inter. I think whenever people mention Inter, it's to show they have, great ball knowledge because, it's that dark horse. It's like when people say Serbia is the dark horse of the World Cup and so on. No, I don't think Inter will win it. I think Inter is always going to be one of the toughest teams in the Champions League, but are they going to win it? Absolutely no, I don't think so. They don't have they don't just have that aura. They just don't have that aura. They don't have that aura. Obviously, I'm going to say Paris Saint-Germain. I think we're probably the best offensive side. Great with the ball, great off the ball. And not that bad defensively as Madrid or NFC Barcelona. So Paris Saint-Germain. Players available as well. Did you like Cena's heel turn? I don't know what Cena's heel turn. I'm going to be completely honest. Worst PSG game you've ever watched live? Probably when we lost United 3-1. That was an embarrassing defeat by Paris Saint-Germain. Still haunts me. Disgusting, man. They legit had 3 shots, 3 goals, and all the goals they scored were mistakes from us. First goal, mistake from Tilo Kehrer. Second mistake from Gianluigi Buffon. And third mistake from, Kimpembe. What would be your reaction if PSG knocks out of Anfield? I have no clue. I don't prepare myself for failure. How do you feel about Warren Zaire-Emery and Lucho not starting him in midfield? I know he plays right back some games, but when he will get back in his midfield role. Also, are you planning to start a Discord server? I'm not planning to start a Discord server. Maybe in the future. I've gotten a lot of suggestions about it, but similar to some Twitter groups I've created, I'm not really that available in them. So it would be a bit, creating a Discord server I'm not available in. But we'll see in the future. And no, Warren Zaire-Emery just hasn't been up to par, and the competition in midfield is very strong. Even the backups in the midfield are stronger than Warren Zaire-Emery. So at the moment, he's having to play backup right back. We also don't have a backup right back, so that's why Warren is having to play in that position. But Warren just has to up his performances. Do you think we'll beat Liverpool away, and why? Yes, I do believe we'll beat Liverpool away. I think it's still maybe you could say 50-50. Because Liverpool are 1-0 up and is going to go to Anfield. But because of the performance I saw from Paris Saint-Germain, I know that even if we muster up just 70% of that kind of a performance, but the main thing obviously being the clinicality, that we get some goals, it shouldn't be that hard. Favorite PSG moment since you started supporting? It has to be Thiago Silva, David Luiz, double headers, battle at the bridge, Zlatan Ibrahimovic red card. I was like 14, 13 at that time. Beautiful moments, man. Will you trust the most to score the first goal in Anfield for PSG? Probably Khvicha Kvaratskhelia. Are the Premier League's agendas for Liga and true? Does the Liga and quality have an effect on our UCL performances, weaker Liga and teams to compare to UCL? Clearly, we can dominate the league, but it's not the same when it comes to the big UCL games. Why we don't perform in the big UCL games has more about pressure, mentality. We've never won the UCL. And it's always hard, difficult winning the first Champions League. And no, obviously it's an agenda. We've seen Bayern München dominate the Bundesliga. They have, won UCLs and come very far. We've seen Juventus dominate Serie A, come very far. We've seen City dominate the Premier League, come very far. We've seen, Barcelona at some certain points dominate La Liga and come very far. So no, it's a very weak argument. It's mostly being created by Premier League fans who just have some crazy obsession about their league and its strength when it's not that strong. Should PSG sign Andrija Maksimovic? I don't know that much about him, but if Campos wants to sign him, not too big of a price as well. Let's get him. Would you rather start a match leading 1-0 but away from home or start 0-0 at home? 1-0 away from home. I mean, I've never really understood this away home stuff. Maybe a bit because the Parc des Princes recently has been quite of an embarrassment in a big Champions League stadium recently. But I've never cared that much about away and home. Do you think PSG will make a comeback versus Liverpool? 100%. Can PSG win the UCLs without any UCL winner experienced players in the team? Who should we bring to help in that with that? Kimmich, Alisson, because Liverpool have Mamara Sadivili. I think that's what we like because we have a young but talented squad, just not big game experience. I absolutely do not think that's the reason. I think, we've done somewhat of a process. We have removed a lot of our top players, gotten in a lot of new players that have to gel with the chemistry. The new players came in. Luis Enrique is trying to play a completely different football to what we played before. So it's mostly about just getting that, perfecting what Luis Enrique wants to play. We also signed a lot of players like Colomani, Ugarte, who were never part of the plans of Luis Enrique. So it's more about, I guess, time. But no, I don't think. Obviously, when we signed Keylor Navas, that had a big effect. So maybe potentially for the goalkeeping spot. Issue is there is no one, and no, I wouldn't assign Alisson either. Considering we got Kvara already, what other three players, realistically speaking, would you bring for next season? Who do you see leaving? I see Marquinhos leaving. I see potentially Kangi Lee, Fabian Ruiz, and Gonçalo potentially leaving. All bench players. Not really Fabian. I think Luis Enrique likes him. Fabian wants to be here. He doesn't have that big of a price tag as well. Players signing, I'm going Cherki Akhliosh in attack and Ibrahima Konate in defense. How much confidence against Liverpool next week? Very confident, even more confident than after the first leg. Do you think the season Dembele is having is underrated because Mbappe didn't start well in Madrid also, but Dembele still got the numbers. In 2025, Dembele doesn't have penalty goals, but Mbappe still favorites for Ballon d'Or. Yeah, I mean, all of this Mbappe favorite for Ballon d'Or, just disgusting Zionistic Madrid PR. And second of all, we all know the Ballon d'Or is about who wins the Champions League. So even though maybe Dembele, by a lot of other, casuals are not putting him in the top 5 of Ballon d'Or or something, it will change if Paris Saint-Germain win the Champions League and Dembele is very impactful for us. And I wouldn't say he's underrated, more just hated. People just hate PSG and Dembele. So think we'll still qualify? 100%. Do you like players who have a fiery personality? I like humans who have a personality. I've never enjoyed NPCs. But I guess this question has something to do with Yamal. There's a huge difference between a fiery personality, being strong and confident, and then just being an arrogant, spoiled, disgusting person. And absolutely no. I would rather have an NPC than a disgusting human being like an Mbappe, like a Bellingham or Yamal. Thoughts about me? Cheeky account. Do you think that Barcola has underperformed lately? I think in terms of performances, I think Barcola has a way higher ceiling. It's been like that maybe throughout this entire season. But because he's been so prolific efficiency-wise, both in terms of goals and assists, maybe not in the biggest games, I'm very happy with Barcola this season, and I know he will just improve in coming seasons. Halal or haram? Halal. Players who want PSG to sign this summer? Konate, Cherki, Akhliosh. Should PSG sign Rafael Leao? Absolutely no. Do you believe in God? Yes. When do you think PSG will be a real contender for the Champions League? Few signings away. I think this season we were a real Champions League contender last season. We're a real Champions League contender this season. I will be there for the upcoming future. Would you accept to swap Pedri to PSG for Fabian to go to Barca? 100%. What's an underrated player you wish you could get in PSG? Underrated player, Amora. Just because of my Algerian bias, let's go with Amora. He's having an incredible season in Wolfsburg, 10 goals and 9 assists in 23 games. Let's get him. Do you want PSG to buy Victor Gyökeres? No. Thoughts on the Nunes handball against PSG that led to the goal? No, not any thoughts at all. Sitting yourself. I have so many questions, but I'll write 10 questions. What's your name? From? Where are you? My name is Mohammed. I'm from Algeria and Sweden, living in Sweden. You know Arabic? Yes, I learn Arabic. Who's the goat of PSG? Probably Thiago Silva. Post KSI at least. Who players you like to see PSG in 25-26 season? Shirley Akhliosh and Konate. Who players you want to leave PSG in the summer? Potentially Marquinhos and Donnarumma. Let's see what happens the rest of the season. We're doing Anfield 100%. Name a PSG legend you want to see him again in PSG. Zlatan Ibrahimovic. Would you do reactions to some talents you love to see in PSG? Because of copyright, I can't really do that, but I would love to do that. What's your plan to suggest on PSG management to build a new stadium? I think the plan was always try to stay at the Parc des Princes, but we've been trying to do that for a very long time, and we just got to move on. What's your advice to young talent players? Stay humble. Erling Braut Haaland way. How long have you been a PSG supporter? What made you decide to support the club in the first place? I've already mentioned this in the Q&A, but Zlatan Ibrahimovic, I have family and been to Paris. Paris Saint-Germain was a very unique club to support back in 2012. Named that's better than Yamal, only ability-wise, so ignore the hype and everything else around him. If Inter Milan, Yamal is definitely the best 17-year-old in the world at the moment, which I can think of. If Inter Milan, Milan and Juve were in Ligue 1, would they be placed this season? Milan would probably maybe be 6th, 5th. They're very inconsistent in the league. Inter would definitely be competing with us for the league title, and Juve would be top 4. Who's a bigger PSG legend, Ibra or Cavani? Zlatan Ibrahimovic. And obviously, my favorite player is Zlatan Ibrahimovic, so I prefer him. But yeah, I don't even think it's a question. I know Cavani has more goals, but that's because he played here for a longer time. If you had a sports team from the top 5 leagues, who are you picking from? Bundesliga? No, I don't support, like, oh, this is my Premier League team, this is my Bundesliga team. No, I support Paris Saint-Germain or rien. Paris or rien. Do you think Spurs will win a trophy in the next 5 years, and which Spurs would you sign? If I could sign any Spurs player, I would probably take Romero, the centre-back. He's very good. They could win one. You know, they have a good revenue, they have a good squad. The only issue is their owner, Daniel Levy. He definitely does not focus on, you know, Spurs being a successful club on the pitch. He would rather care about their total revenue and so on. So, yeah, that's what makes it difficult. How would you order the following mistake that led up to the goal against Liverpool? Nuno tracking back to left side, Marquinhos slipped, which cost 3. Pacho covering the cover instead of Nuno. Donnarumma not saving, Vitinha not defend. Honestly, Marquinhos, because he lost the header and kept Nunes onside as well. That's something I haven't seen that many PSG fans talk about. Second of all, Donnarumma not saving the shot. Third, Pacho covering the space. Fourth, Nuno not tracking back. And fifth, Vitinha not defend. Do you think Pedri's top 3 midfielder, top 1? I hate to say it, but it's probably 1. Huge tough competition with Vitor Ferreira. We can put them both at 1, but yeah, probably Pedri 1. You want to PSG sell Donna? I've had my reasoning clear. If Donnarumma once again costs us and we get knocked out from the UCL, yes. We're your favorite team in the top 5 league? Paris Saint-Germain. And once again, I don't have a favorite team in every single league. When will Yamal score his next goal? He could Fugazi against Benfica, honestly. I think he really wants to score a goal in that game. Pedri or Bellingham? Pedri. Who's the best centre-back ever? From, you know, what we know and heard, Paolo Maldini. That I've seen in my generation, Thiago Silva. Will you ever support an actual good team? Funny are Barca fans saying this. You haven't been in the semi-final since 2019. If we're not a good team, more Barca. You think you can survive Anfield? 100%. Why are you always so cocky whenever you lose a Champions League tie? Just stay humble. I mean, I wasn't cocky after we lost versus Liverpool. It was a reaction to the cockiness from the Liverpool fans. Do you think Salah will go in the second leg in Alisson? I think Alisson will not have a generational performance again, but he'll still be good. Salah, probably better, 100%. I could see him Fugazi himself a goal or assist as well. Do you think we need to let go of Marquinhos and Donna? Potentially. 23. Do you think keeping Donnarumma as our number 1 goal is a good idea? Do we bring in Chevalier and sell Donnarumma? After this Champions League campaign ends, so if we get knocked out versus Liverpool, or, you know, whenever we get knocked out, or if we win it, then I will make an assessment. Why do you live in Sweden? Because I was born in Sweden. How deadly will Musiala, Wirtz, and Olise trio be? The thing is, we have to be completely honest. We've obviously seen Wirtz and Musiala with the German national team, and you can't really get the best out of both of them. That's for me the main issue, because Wirtz and Musiala both are like central players. None of them is really a winger. Maybe if you start playing Musiala more as a winger, cutting inside like a Neymar Jr. in his prime, could potentially work. But I think it will be a very deadly trio. And it also means who's going to be the striker. I would probably go for more of a goal-scoring striker instead of more of a playmaking striker than Harry Kane. No, Peter Pan. Who's better in big games, Pedro or Vitinha? Vitinha. I think Vitinha, over the past since 2024 began or something, has a way better big game resume than Pedri. Speech better this season, last season, for sure this seaseason. We're obsessed with Lamine Yamal. I'm not obsessed with him. I just hate arrogant people, and yeah, I have a lot of strong opinions about arrogant people, especially when every single day I wake up, I go into Twitter, I see like Yamal doing some arrogant gimmick. He's saying something in an interview. Like, he has to blame himself. No line jersey. Will PSG finally win their UCL this year? Neymar will not come back to PSG? Yeah, he will not come back. Yeah. Will you ever shave my beard? No. Which club has the greatest 11 of all time? Great question, because it's not greatest team. 11. Individual 11s. I mean, it's probably between like peak Madrid, so I would say that beat Juventus was that 2016 Madrid or 2011 Barca, one of them. Maybe actually peak Madrid. Because you have players like David Villa, Pedro. Like that Barca team, I would still say it's better if they played Madrid. But they had like Abidal, Marcelo, Madrid. So yeah, I'd probably say maybe 2016 Madrid if you're talking just overall individual quality across the entire pitch. Pedro, best sentiment in the world? Yeah. Do you think Pedro could be top 3 Ballon d'Or this season? I think his performances deserve at least a top 5, top 3 Ballon d'Or. The issue is he doesn't have that good PR. Barcelona are not pushing his PR, and he's a midfielder as well. And you know, usually the Ballon d'Or goes for attackers, so I do not see that happening. Second of all, I don't see Barca winning the UCL, so. And Barca are not in the Club World Cup either, so no. Lamine Yamal or Pedri? Pedri, what kind of question is this? Half Swedish, half Algerian. You read Zagrova? I do. I remember, like, every game we played against him, I remember when I watched him versus Madrid, very great. But I do remember disrespectful, disgusting Paris Saint-Germain fans that said we should sell Dembele and get Zagrova. Disgusting people. Do you think Yamal's top 15 in the world right now? Potentially. Do you love Cancelo for letting PSG beat Barca? Yeah, I mean, like a lot of Barca fans I've seen talking about Cancelo's performance, but I mostly look at the two individual mistakes. I mean, the first one was also a Kubarsi individual mistake, but you know, Barca fans always stay blind towards Kubarsi. But yeah, leaving Dembele open at the back post and then making an absolutely stupid tackle. Like Dembele wasn't even close to the goal. So, shout out to Cancelo, man. Hopefully he's enjoying Saudi money. PSG losing next week? No chance. Cheeky picture. Do you blame Dorna? Was it the whole team's fault? I blame the entire team on us losing that game. Like, if we had scored our chances, we could have conceded a goal and we would still won the game. So I actually blame it more on the players that had chances this game. Who's grown man like you, 817-year-old boy, they just love playing for Stop this. He just loves playing football. I couldn't care less if he loves playing football or not. He's a fucking arrogant piece of shit. So, and second of all, stop this fucking 17-year-old gimmick, man. What's... You think I'm not going to end up at PSG one day like Neymar, Messi, Dino, Ibra, etc.? Just be the best destiny for Barca prodigies. I could see that. Yeah, I could see that. Barca PSG so ass in big games. I mean, we're not ass in big games, but if you're talking about, you know, a lot of UCL knockouts, it's mostly mentality. Because majority of the games we actually get knocked out in, we are the better team. We perform better. We have more chances. We concede less chances. We just don't take our chances and make individual mistakes and concede the goals we shouldn't be conceding. Why did you lose to Liverpool? We didn't put the ball into the net. Mohamed Salah is dropping upon you on Anfield. I'm ready for his potential for Gazy assist or goal, yeah. Why people is hating on us, PSG? I actually made a great example argument before. I said, think about PSG if there is a classroom with a bunch of kids and, you know, United, Barca, Madrid, a lot of kids that have been there for a long time. And then this new kid comes to the block because, yes, Paris Saint-Germain have always existed, has always been a good club, but it's not been a top-tier club. So it was just like QSI bought us. At first we came in, we had like Ibra, Verratti. They were like, oh, look at this cool kid, man. Look at this cool kid. He has some ballers and so on. Then when we took Neymar from Barca, took Mbappe and held him for so long, Madrid and Barca started hating us a lot. especially Barca since 2017. And then knocking out Barca as well, which just made it even worse. And Barca and Madrid have a huge PR, which affects Premier League fans and other fans as well. So the hate towards Paris Saint-Germain came. And then because we splashed a lot of money, people saw us as arrogant, oil club, and all of that. So I still understand why people hate us. It's just way too much and way too childish, I would say. Especially because Paris Saint-Germain have signed so many ballers, have always played attractive football. Like Paris Saint-Germain is a club to look up to. But I think when we eventually win our first Champions League, that would change a lot because, you know, the entire football discourse has been about, do you have a UCL? Do you not? When you get a UCL, everything changes. So, would you go to jail for a year or two if you win the treble? No. How do you trigger Liverpool fans? Yeah, you speak facts, don't let them ignore you. How can you trigger other fans? I mean, my intentions have never been to trigger Liverpool fans. It's just been giving them facts. And it seems like Liverpool fans have a very tough trouble accepting facts. So shit and always act best in the world with their UCL trophies. Don't have any shame. Again, I don't understand this having Champions League trophies in the history. I mean, you're a Barca fan. You haven't won a Champions League since 2015. You've been way more garbage than Paris Saint-Germain, for example, ever since then. So I don't understand this like hiding behind history, dinosaur, and UCLs all the time. And yeah, we've been at least the best team in the world or one of the top three for a very long time, which Barca, for example, has not been. So UCL semi-prediction. PSG, Madrid, Barca, Bayern. Who's better, Benzema or Leva? Benzema. Modric or KDB? Modric. Thiago Silva or Puyol? Thiago Silva. Why do Barca fans have brain deficiency? I think when you start supporting a club that's won a lot of UCLs, they've had great players like Iniesta, Xavi, Messi, and all of this, you have high expectations of the club. And then when the club doesn't meet those high expectations, you become like extremely crazy. You still think like you're a big, great club and everything, but you're not. So that's why. I think Barca fans need to be extremely humble. Maybe not now. Now Barca are good, but for that period when they were completely ass, they should have been humble. Thoughts on Bayern 3 and Leverkusen? Yeah, I mean, they always do that. Look, I've had my opinions about Bayern. Like, Bayern have not been good this season. But strictly for that Leverkusen game, I knew Bayern would win with a good performance because it was very, I don't know, I felt so similar vibes to when you guys played Arsenal last season. It was just a game for you guys to win. How do you guys not score with 27 shots and 10 on goal? I mean, we missed a lot of chances and Alisson made a lot of great saves. How did Salah sub score from his first touch? Embarrassing by our players, man. How do you think your style can come back at Anfield? Because Anfield is not this fortress that you guys are making out to be. PSG wins the UCL, but Peter Gerard Scully is set free from prison and moved into Europe. I don't know who Peter Gerard Scully is. Shout out to him, man. PSG loses by Mbappe against testicular. No, I don't care that much about Mbappe getting testicular cancer. Think PSG get top 9 like Osimhen? No, that's not why we have box conversion issues. We're just missing chances. Like, if we were not creating chances, then you're like, yeah, maybe you need a focal point in attack to aim chances for. But that was not the problem, especially against Liverpool. Can you please talk about the Nunes handball tweet about it? As I said, I don't really care about the Nunes handball that much. I think people made it out bigger than it is. Well then, people, that's been it from the Q&A. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed this. If you ever want to be part of asking me questions for a Q&A, make sure to be following me on Twitter, PSGINT_. That's been it from my boy PSGINT. And as usual, allez, Paris.